You're welcome back from the break. You're still watching this morning show here on AdoaTV. Today is Wednesday, and today we're bringing you a whole new thing. It's something that hasn't happened before. Though we have people here coming in to talk about themselves, but today we have a youngest person so far we're going to talk to. She is a writer, an African writer. She's a poet. She's a spoken word artist. She is a growing HR personnel or HR person. She does a whole lot of things. And she graduated from Central University, if I'm right. Yeah, she goes to the person of Elizabeth Iwudua. She's going to be my guest for today. We're going to talk about her person. We're going to talk about what she does, why she does them, and what motivates her to do whatever she does or whatever she finds herself doing, and then her comfort zone. So I'm sure you watching, you want to also contribute or by asking her some questions. You can send it via our WhatsApp number that will be on the screens. But we're also streaming live on Facebook via AdoaTV. Again, my name is Anastasia, but I hope you enjoy after the interview. You're welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing? How's your morning been so far?
It's been very good.
It smiles on your face alone. We're also honored to have a young African writer, poet, and spoken word artist like you. We don't really see much of them these days, but I think for some time now, one way or the other, when you find yourself in a school where some of these things are encouraged, you see some of them. For instance, in my school, there was one guy who used to do that spoken word. So anytime there's a program going on in the school, they give him the chance to come and then do something. And then I think it was good. But tracing him on social media, and I see that he's growing through it. Is it the same for you?
Yes, for me too. It started back in school. So I think I started as a writer. I did more of essays, articles. So during my head teachers days when we had competitions, usually the English teacher would tell me to write for the school. So I just saw myself as someone that just likes writing essays. So I just want to deliberate on political matters, social matters, and it was when I got into Central University. There's this group, it's called the Levi Generation. Yes, Levi Generation. So it's a group of writers / poets and dancers and drama. So
just like we have in our secondary school, WDDC. Nice. There's writers, debaters, and drama club.
Okay, so ours was like that. So I decided to join the writers. And for me, 4 years after, I can see that it was a very strong foundation for me. Because that was where I began to grow. I needed to write more often, like you said, because of programs. Whenever there are programs in school, chapel services, and when we have campus programs, so like LJ Night of Glory, usually they always have a slot for spoken word poetry, and one of us needs to go in.
Okay, but talking about the group, did you have like someone who was heading it, someone who was actually directing you as to what to do?
Yes. So we have a director, we have the main LG director, and then we have the poetry director, we have the drama, and then, so all of them are students. We're all students. Yes, they're all students. So it forms part of the Central University campus ministry.
Okay.
Yeah, there are other groups. We have the missions and evangelism. There's the prayer department, but this department is for the creative arts. But even in as much as they are students, we've got patrons. So our patrons are usually employees of the school.
Okay.
So your patron might be the school chaplain himself. Yes. So these students report, and every year the baton is passed on. Usually the final years lead, but there are still cases where you have a level 300 or 200 leading the group. But every year it's passed on, so it's not like one person.
But were they tasking you to do stuff, and then with what you produce, they are marked? I'm talking about your directors, since you're saying they're students, and talking about the patrons as well. Are they the ones who check anytime you are taxed? If there's anything like that, who checks that to make sure that, okay, this person is on the right path, okay, this person isn't doing this right, I have to correct this part of it, whatever you've produced?
So as a member or as an executive, you are more directly responsible to your director.
Okay.
But your director is responsible to the patron.
Right.
Yes. So all the major decisions and all the major counsel comes from the patron.
Okay.
Yes. So they overhead the campus ministry. So in as much as it's students, it wasn't a rigid leadership because we are students.
Okay.
And you might be the director, I might be your assistant. We are both in the same class. So what happens is that we just meet and just discuss as a group of people, critique each other, being that we're in the same field. Yes. So the criticism is more of a team thing. We do it together. And as a poetry team, we had this, it's called Night of Poetry. Okay. Where we, so it's our own maiden program organized by us. So what happens is that we try to put a lot of us on program and still bring external. Now that program for us was a major thing because not everyone, we might be like 30, but of course in a group, you can expect 30 people to minister in a day. So what happens is that we are all learning from each other. Sometimes, not just put swing on program, we need to do duets. Okay. We need to work together. So it's brought that into different dimensions. And these programs usually have themes too. So we had a theme like Jesus reception. So you need to write about Jesus reception.
Okay, so do something on that. Let's.
Okay, so about Jesus reception. Yes. Okay. I like. Okay, so let me do something on that. First class, second class upper, second class lower, third class. Top 4 classes of a bachelor's degree program. Harvard, Yale, University of Pennsylvania, some of the top universities in the world today. GRE, GMAT, OL, SAT, standard examinations used to determine qualification. We offer salvation, not scholarship. If the church could be less of an academic institution where only the best and most qualified gain admission. Even if the cut-off mark be lowered to 0.1, there is still an error if we can't make the church a social and spiritual clinic. If the church could be rather more of a clinic, where the broken-hearted, depressed, frustrated, anyone at all can enter, the rich, the poor, the tall, the short, the wide, the black, the literate, the illiterate, we offer salvation, not scholarships. So quit the pre-examination exercise. She did not greet me good morning. She is not decently dressed. He is too condemned to find Christ. Just look at the pot calling the kettle black. Shouldn't we first remove the pride that has covered our eyes like sunglasses? By the way, it doesn't make you look cute. Lest we plant our hands into someone else's eyes, sin will taken away particles. Are you Jesus on the cross of Calvary, saying it is finished? Or are you the general secretary of heaven, booking an appointment for God and keeping the record of who should be stoned and who should be atoned? By my standards, you should be the first to face judgment. For you're trying to convict who God has the veto power to acquit. And he did it when he cried on Calvary's hills, it is finished. Yes, no extra debt, no balance carried forward. So, shut those microscopic eyes and let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ.
Great. Does it require that for you to be very interesting spoken word artist, does it require you to learn something to add up to it, like the flair and all that? Does it require that you learn, or it's something that is within you?
Okay, so the difference between just poetry and spoken word poetry is the added flair of the spoken word poetry. Okay. I mean, when you look back during the Shakespearean days of poetry, poetry was more of a recital. Yes, you sit as a group and you just say it, or somebody just wants to listen. I feel spoken word poetry came more as a youthful vibe to try to make people enjoy it. So part of being a spoken word artist is understanding how to take dominion of your environment, and you do this through your flair. So it comes natural. I mean, the more you do it, the more you know your style. Yes. So initially when I started, I mean, it's been about 4 to 5 years now. And me now and me then, the difference is my self-awareness level. So now I know my style, and when I see someone do something different, I know how to appreciate it. When I want to do a duet with someone, I know how to understand my style and understand the person's style, and we get a nice synchronization. So what happens that when you start, you need to also take time to listen to yourself and understand your style. There are some poets that are much slower. I'm not so much of the very slow poets. Okay. There are some poets that they wouldn't move so much, but they just prefer to stand on one position and they will still make
I
their
think
points.
we're used to seeing most of them in that
Yes,
position
yes.
with the
So
microphone
with
in
the
front of
microphone
them.
in front of them. And funny enough, I think most of my administrations, I enjoy moving.
Moving around.
Yes. So I enjoy using the cordless mic.
Okay.
Yes, a lot. I don't know if it's something. I think I once did Kobe Annan Festival of Arts and Music.
Where?
Yes. It was at Spintex last year, Kobe Annan Festival of Arts and Music, and most of the spoken word poets also stood, like with.
Okay, so it was open to
one.
spoken word artists.
Yes. So we had Rhyme Sonny. I don't know if you know. Rhyme Sonny is a full-time poet, and then we had Ellie Stabler, and then so it was a group of poets, but it was art and music, so we had music in between. So I remember that when I was done with mine, I used a colorless, and one of the gentlemen, is called Kwekurab, came in and I was like, wow, your style is different, and I was like, yeah. So I think, yeah, so it's all personal choice and also part of your identity.
In some years to come, where do you see yourself with your spoken word? Okay,
with spoken word, I see myself getting to a place where I can build an African platform to most especially share the gospel in a dynamic way.
Okay, so basically yours is going to be based on the gospel.
Yes.
All right.
And I want to, with the gospel, I would love to enter into a lot of dimensions. You see, when it comes to the gospel, some people want to make it feel like it's boring, or feel like it's a particular part of life. But I want to make you understand that it reflects on every area of our lives. I think one of the spoken word poetry that I had to do at so many places many times is Chocolate Box of Beauty.
Okay.
And it talks about how beauty is perceived of the African woman. And it came to it with a scriptural dimension. So there are many people that are not Christians, but they've listened to it and they've gotten to realize that it's not about the past, it's not about the mistakes I made, it's about the fact that I'm beautiful because nothing else made me but God. So
okay, so we want to hear that.
The chocolate box.
Yes.
Okay. So you're a woman. Be an object, not a subject. Your voice is not to be heard, just your figure to be seen, even if it makes men sin. Do not sit in front. Backbencher is the tag. You're the backbone, not the forehead, so lay behind and let the men go ahead. You're a woman. Your body matters more than your brain, so you think, get a figure 8 and leave a grade at 9. You exist, but live like you don't. Don't be wild, don't be active, don't be offended, don't be hurt, don't be a woman, a type of man entitled to all and equal rights. Just be a woman, a man without a voice. Well, if this is your perception, then you must recreate a critical part of your vision, hence you become a woe to man. You are not society's woman by definition, you are God's pride. Mahama's bride or Obama's wife cannot match up to your worth in Christ. Because I remember the day God carved out of the side of man to become a helpmate, not a helpmate. The host of angels speechless. Heaven was dumbfounded. If I were there, I would have whispered, God saved the best for last. Because indeed, he did. It was not good for man to be alone, so he created you, that you might be the incubator to his seed and be useful, a wonderful, breathtaking, OMG gush demanding creation, taken out of the ribs of man to prove that the world is incompletely complete without you, a woman. He looked at you and called you beautiful, and blessed you and said, go forth and be fruitful. But how did you change over the years? How did you let your glory be slain on the altars of men whose glasses are broken, trying to be seen by men who can't even see? What monster do you try to make of yourself? I'm not a Midianite. I'm only here to show you the median between the twilight of ignorance and your dawn of quintessence. Oh, woman, you've let society suck out your sense of purpose and afflict you with no esteem at all. So now everyone sees beauty like a chocolate box, and we will do everything to fit in, even if it means whitewashing our black skins with chemicals. Like a burnt spot of rye, we scrub out our beautiful melanin just to fit into the world's beauty contest. Now everyone sees beauty like a chocolate box, and we will do everything to fit in, even if it means cropping our hips and zooming our tops. Oh, enough. Enough of letting the world see you as an employee paid to make the demand the world places. Have you forgotten the day God created you? no Mary Kay, no bikini, no 6 inches, no contact lens. Yet Adam fell in love without losing sight. And from the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh. Adam says, now this is bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh, and she shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. So when next your man makes you feel less, tell him you're a reflection of himself.
Wow.
So that's an excerpt. Yeah.
You just added that.
No. That's okay. That's. I didn't do the whole piece. It's on my YouTube channel.
Okay. You have one.
Yes. Elizabeth Odiwa.
Okay, so Elizabeth Odiwa.
Yes, that's it. So you can get the full poem there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sure we'll visit that place soon. My bad of not going there anyway, but after the interview, I bet I'm going to look at it and then have a feel, because I already like what I've heard.
Oh, wow.
The two that you did, excellent. Thank you. Well, moving backwards, we're going to talk about how you grew up in the family, how many siblings you have, and then where you schooled, and all that.
All right. So I'm from a family of 4, which is now 3.
Why?
Yes.
Lost
so
one?
yes,
Okay.
I lost my mom in 2017. Yes.
Sorry
And
about that.
thanks. I have a sibling, so just one brother.
Okay, so
So it's
two
just
other
yes.
ladies.
No, just
Just a
just
brother.
my brother. That's
Okay.
it, yeah. We have the Western. See. So it's just myself and my
then
brother.
the brother.
And my
Younger
dad.
than you are?
Yes, younger.
So you're the oldest.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and my dad is Ghanaian, my mom is Nigerian.
Okay,
And so I was born in Ghana. I think I stayed for about 2 years, and then I went to Nigeria. So that's where I did my secondary, my primary and my secondary education.
In Nigeria.
Then, yes.
Okay.
Then
What
Lagos,
school?
precisely, Government Senior College.
Government Senior College.
Yes.
Okay.
Ikoyi.
Ikoyi.
Yes, I know it sounds. So Government Senior College, Ikoyi. And so I went to the Government Junior and then Government Senior for my secondary education. And then I came back to Ghana in 2014, Central University, for my uni, and ever since.
Okay, so you were there as a foreign student.
Yes, so I was there as a foreign student.
Okay, but growing up, what did you aspire to do? What did you want to become?
Well, before I got into secondary school, I wanted to be a doctor.
A doctor?
Yes.
What changed? Or it hasn't changed?
I think now I don't want to be a doctor, but I'm still in love with the health sector.
Okay, so what exactly, if not being a doctor?
The doctor, I don't know, maybe. Okay, so I'm currently working with Universal Delft. It's a Dutch biomedical imaging company. So they distribute X-rays, and for me, it's a place of passion because it's contributing to the health sector. Okay. So I might not necessarily work as a medical practitioner, but something to benefit that sector.
Okay.
I think why I probably wanted to do it was I just loved helping people. And I changed because after I got to, I think I was moving from JHS to SHS, and then I realized that I didn't really like bloody things. Disgusting. So friends like, oh, are you sure you can be a doctor? You say a lot of weird things. Like, okay, you know what? So I won't do it anymore. So I wanted to, then later on I changed and I wanted to be a diplomat. For that, I still want to be a diplomat.
Want to be
yes. So I wanted to be a diplomat because my dad worked a lot with the diplomat, with the British Deputy High Commission. So I loved how they travel. I loved how they got new experiences. I loved the fact that you get to be in another country representing your original country. So I just liked the kind of benefits. I also felt like.
Tell me about your hobbies. What are your hobbies?
My hobbies, I love writing.
Okay.
And reading novels. Okay. And creative design. So anything that just gives me a creative platform, I would love to do.
Have you done anything like that?
Like creative design?
Yes.
Yes. So on my social media handles, usually I send motivational quotes.
Okay.
Almost every day, and I design them myself.
Alright.
So for
but you don't like traveling. You don't like to see new places.
Oh, I do. But I think that was part of the reasons I also didn't really like it at that point. I'm an introvert, so when I was thinking of traveling, I was like, maybe I don't really like it, but I would have still done it. I wasn't finding industrial relations undergraduate course.
Okay.
Sincerely, that was why I didn't do it.
You do it, okay.
When I checked through the schools in Ghana, I think it was only Spiritan University that had it at that time. I don't know if they still do it.
Okay.
So I needed to switch into something else.
Mm.
But I think a paramount reason why I also didn't go into the science was I also realized I began to love literature.
Okay.
Yes. And I don't regret taking the path, I mean, so far, because being an art student, I got to know more about literature, and it made me exercise my writing prowess. And then, coming to the university, I came into the business administration,
okay,
and I got into human resource management. So for me, business and art, I feel like it gave me a very strong foundation to do what I'm currently doing. One thing I always tell people is that art is not something you do on, like, you don't do it in a vacuum. I see a lot of people that want that tell me, oh, Elizabeth, I want to be a writer. I love poetry. Precisely, I want to be a motivational speaker. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. But I'm sorry, I won't tell you to go for a course on motivational speaking. I won't tell you to go for a course in writing. I'll tell you to love to do and know what you are doing. Okay. Because the point is, there's no one who went to school to become a motivational speaker. But when you were so good at what you did, people felt like you could transfer the knowledge. So motivational speaking is just you transferring the knowledge. So if you want to be this, make sure that what you find yourself currently doing, be an expert in it. The reason why I get things to write, they're probably because of experiences I went through. And some of them I even got from reading my books. Okay. So sometimes you're reading a book about law. I think one of the interesting was agency law. Agency law. And
with business administration.
Oh yes, we did a lot. We did, I think, big company law. We did business law. So we did a lot of laws, and I also found it very. So, for example, in agency law, there's a particular Latin expression, and what it means is that one who does a thing for another, does it for the other. Okay. Like, it's just basically say that when an agent works for a principal, take it as it was the principal that did it. So for me, it gave me also a very interesting expression of God and Jesus Christ being sent to the world. Okay. So I saw myself as the third party, God as the principal, and Jesus as the agent sent to redeem me back to him. Okay. So though Jesus came and we called him Emmanuel, we can take it as God came to man. So that's why he said God with us. So Jesus did it, but God did it because Jesus doing it for God means according to that law. So it's interesting, but you just need to enjoy doing what you do.
Wow, that's good. This one already sounds up like motivating our viewers out there, or even giving a word to them to take home. But I'm sure we're going to have you again on the show, and then we're going to talk extensively about what you really love to do. Probably by the time we see you again, something else would have been added up to it, and then we're going to talk extensively. Thank you very much for making it. We are honored to have you on our show. There was this morning show you just watched, and there was a discussion segment with Elizabeth Ewudua. She is a spoken word artist. She does a whole lot of things. She's an African writer. She's a poet, but she is majoring in spoken word. My name is Anastasia Badu. This morning show continues after the break. Don't go away.
Borges extra virgin olive oil, best for salad dressing. A little of Borges classic olive oil will make delicious meals. Borges with garlic, excellent for your grills. Make your meals healthy with Borges.
I maintain a healthy life with Borges olive oil.
Borges olive oil, the very best always.
AdoaTV, in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the South African Embassy, and the Ghana